Hello, everyone. This is the 8th episode of Deep Blues, an Apocalypse World adventure. I'm joined, as always, by my good friends Apom,
Hello.
Seth,
Yep.
and Wind,
Hello.
and yours truly, Josie. Some shit happened last session, right?
Nah, it's fine. It's good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we
There's a
can-
pansy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some big old stuff.
nothing exciting
Fun
happened.
We wouldn't have
Before we
picked
start
flowers for today.
Before we start anything, let's real quick get re-highlighting stats out of the way.
Yippee.
And we will start with Apom, as always.
Sorry, bumping my mic. So I choose one.
No, the person who has the highest HX with you chooses, and then I
It's a
choose.
tie.
I have
uh,
one with Apom.
No,
One.
yeah, my. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
So I guess we get to rock, paper, scissors it. Hey, let's ask.
It's just roll.
Yeah.
Higher roll wins.
Seth is 1, Wind is 2.
Oh. I get to choose. Yippee!
Oh,
all right.
boy.
All right.
You get to mark. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and also Mark. Oh, you Mark. How about Sharp?
Ah, I knew it. Knew it.
Or no, wait.
No.
No, hard. Hard.
Bastard.
Oh boy, that spells good things for this session.
Next is our good friend Rusty, who has highest HX with Rusty.
I have one.
I have two.
When you get to choose.
I'm gonna say weird.
Okay, I highlighted weird.
And we'll go with Sharp.
Sharp. Good.
And finally, our good friend Luck Pumper.
I have one.
I have one too.
Alright, time to fucking roll.
Well,
Damn.
Try to beat that.
That'll be hard to.
Dang.
Nope.
Mark hot.
God damn it.
Wow.
My stat that I have -1 in.
I'm so sorry.
And let's do hard.
Hard already.
Yeah.
The two H's.
Do hot again.
Yeah, mark hot. You get 2 experience if you roll hot.
So, we talked this out earlier about folks getting some nice upgrades to their person. What'd y'all choose?
Oh, sorry.
start with
You want to
Apom.
go first?
Apom, go.
Okay. I decided to pick and move from another playbook, and I picked Battlefield Instincts from the Gunlugger, I believe. So that allows me to open my brain with hard instead of weird, but I can only do so in battle.
Pretty rad. And what'd Lug Pumper get?
Bug Pumper decided to add. Well, he didn't really decide for one of them at least. He has 2 new options in his workspace. One of them being a garage, kind of jerry-rigged together onto the raft. And do you want to save what the other one is going to be?
Yeah, we'll wait until it comes up.
Alrighty.
Let's see. What else was there? Oh yeah, we did the boats. We talked about boats. We started out the Greasy Pinky and the Love Supreme. Greasy Pinky came out being a 1 speed, no handling, 1 armor, massive of 1, which means it's pretty damn small. It's maybe like buggy size. It can hold maybe up to, I don't know, 3 people, 4 if they crammed in. It is strong in that it is uncomplaining, and it will it'll do what you want it to do, and it won't usually break down. It is sleek and handcrafted in that it's like very obviously built, but it's like, the whatever shit is might be sticking out is hammered down. And his weakness is that it's loud as fuck. It will not shut the fuck up. And the Love Supreme, the other boat, is a 0 speed, handling 1, armor 1, massive of 2. So it's the next step up from Greasy Pinky. It would be considered nowadays as like kind of a small speedboat, but this is the biggest you've seen so far. So it's normal for you. It is strong in that it is a workhorse. It will kind of just like push through shit pretty easily. It can tug, it can pull, and it won't, it won't be too much. Its looks are it's flashy and muscular. Flashy in that it's got some sick flames painted on the side by its previous owners, and it's muscular in that it is kind of wide for a boat of its type. It looks a bit weird and fucked up, but in like kind of a strong way. Its weakness is it is slow. It'll get where it's going, but it won't get there very fast. And I think that's all the changes since last session, right?
I believe so.
Lug can read.
Yeah, we retconned that.
Yeah, we retconned that. Lug
Yeah, you can read English. It's fine.
He
Rusty
was just
can't,
faking
though.
it. No, Rusty still cannot read.
Yeah, Rusty is a fool.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't needed to do so yet.
What do you think Nickel and Zinc are for?
They came in later, so he's never had to read while growing up, and now he doesn't have to read ever. Cause yeah, Nickel and Zink are here, and if they're not here, Giuseppe's there, Lug's there.
I see you're a freeloader now.
Yeah. What do you mean freeloader? I'm bringing in the customers.
What do you mean now?
Yeah, now.
God.
Oh, jeez.
So it hasn't been too much time since the end of the Great Battle of the Mountain. And let's see, I don't think any of you took any particular damage from that.
No.
Yeah, I had an armor. I took like 1 damage, but I had armor, so I think that
Right.
negated it.
Yeah, if you had any hurts, then you heal another just through the night or through the day. It happened around noonish, and you're waiting until evening for when Lena gives the all go to actually take the peak. But you have the day until then. Where would y'all be if you were, kind of waiting for something to happen? You know something's on the horizon, it's coming eventually, but where would you be to try to, I don't know, would you be trying to distract yourself? Would you be preparing?
Lug would definitely be with the mechanic girl. Obviously, repairing the pansy, as if I recall, at least one of the wheels was kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was blown straight off.
I guess Rusty would just be checking up on everybody, seeing how everybody's doing.
Maybe with your followers?
Yeah, the followers.
Okay.
Patting them on their shoulders, giving them a thumbs up. Eating metal despite the fact that, these people do not like it when, that happens. They don't like me eating metal, but, my followers do. I'm going to do so.
Well, they don't like you eating their metal.
Oh, their metal? Okay, well, good.
You can eat your own metal. That's your own recreational shit.
What if I buy it from them and then eat it? I guess then it'd still be mine at that point.
Anyway, what would Giuseppe be doing?
I'm thinking, I think at the moment I don't want to go anywhere near my boat at the moment. I've had enough boats for a while. I've had enough water in general for a while. So I think he'd be hanging around the main base, I guess keeping a check on everybody. Maybe going ahead to talk to someone for a bit.
Okay. Would you be checking up on your crew?
I feel like if they're accompanying with me, then they'd probably be sticking with me, like you've described.
Right. Acting less like your band and more like your bodyguards at this point.
I guess so, yeah. If I was going to be talking to any person in particular, that's around here, then it would probably be Len.
Okay. I think I'll start with Rusty.
Rusty.
Everyone's kind of come back from the experience a little worse for wear, despite the relative route that happened. Shit got pretty bad at a certain point, and there were deaths.
Yeah.
Looking over the area that was fought, you can see pockmarks in the part of where the mountain is, and then some spots where the actual floating part of the city happens, and entire gouges within the wood. Just immediate. You can just big holes rented into the wood.
Don't like that. Don't like it.
Bodies and parts. The smell of blood and shit.
Ugh. Gross.
But you turn away from that because nobody wants to be around that except for the few people that Lena has picked out to do identification duty.
I don't even think they want to be there.
They don't, but they have to.
Yeah, that's a bad job. No one wants that job.
But you're with your folks, and you realize that you were already down a few people from the encounter with BG, but this has left you with even fewer. You can't see 5 heads that you had previously seen.
Oh man, that's fucking depressing. I don't like that. That's depressing.
Yeah, I bet. I think Lungs would be with you, considering he's kind of the odd one out.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to feel comfortable with sticking around with Giuseppe's folks recently.
That's understandable with everything that's been going on.
But your folks are looking a lot worse for wear. Some of them are hurt, but that's like nothing new. But it's more that they're just kind of realizing that like they were real fucking gung ho for some fighting before, but
this is too much.
This is a bit much. They were angry and like antsy, and now they're just like disillusioned in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not sure if it's with you, but they don't meet your eyes.
Oh, that's bad.
Nickel and Zink are actually kind of like out of the group a little bit, which is like not the most unusual thing, but they're usually like mingling with folks. They're off to the side, or they're not even there actually. They're over in the medical building.
Okay.
Do you think that you'd want to check up on them specifically, or are you thinking of sticking around with your other folks?
Well, I've gotten a head count of less than 5 here, as far as I can tell, just off the bat. They don't want to look at me.
Just to clarify, there's 5 less people. So you're around.
5 less.
You're acting around 12 people.
12 people now. That's still kind of sad and depressing.
A little bit.
I'm gonna give them their space because they obviously don't want to look up at me in any kind of capacity at this moment. I think they need their space. I guess, wander off since I do a hand motion like, I'm going to go hand motion, but you know, obviously it's moot. Still do it.
Okay. Where would you go?
Gonna go see a Nickel and Zinc, cause God, I need to check up on them. It's been a while.
All right. You walk the relatively short distance from the sort of side barracks that they've set up for you all over to the medical tent. It's a little upsetting seeing that some of the bodies from the fight are still around. A couple of the folks who had tried to kick in the medical building are still strewn about, like obviously carried away from the entrance where they died, but
still there.
They're still there.
Oh, jeez.
The smell permeates pretty heavily. But when you enter the medical building, you hear like laughter, and you recognize that it's Nickel, kind of like doing her kind of vaguely trademark, way too goddamn loud laugh.
Oh, fucking sick. That's comforting.
And you come in, and there's Elena, and she's on a small rolling chair, kind of like only really moving with her, I think, right leg, because she got shot in her left hip. She's using her prosthetic leg to move around rather than use her hurt part. You can see the like kind of dent that the bullet made when it ricocheted off of her metal cranium. But she seems to be in relatively good spirits despite all the bullshit. In the room are, of course, like a bunch of injured folks, as well as Quill, who is kind of hobbling along trying to help out more than Elena can. And kind of over in the corner is Nickel, Zinc, and they're standing over the bed of a particular person. They seem to be having a pretty good time.
Oh, do I know this person? Yes or no?
You realize that like everybody looks pretty much almost exactly the same. Like even in the beds, they still wear those like black masks.
Okay, so I don't recognize them. Got it.
I think you recognize their clothing.
Oh, do I?
The thing that stands out is that like the rebels have normal clothing on, as well as their whatever armors they have. Whereas the people you were fighting all have the exact same like uniform. And this person is wearing, I think right now they're wearing a kind of a light green sundress, but they're laying in a medical cot. You do recognize that this is the person that they had
Picked up
risked their
earlier.
stupid they risked their stupid lives grabbing.
No,
And
no, it's good. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of them and happy about that.
proud. That's very good.
I'm gonna schlep on over there,
Okay, you schlep on over there.
and I'm gonna see.
And Nickel and Zinc look up at you, and you kind of see a little bit of like, I'll call it like reticence in their eyes. Like they see you and they're just kind of like have a moment. But Nickel and Zinc, they're having too good of a time, and they kind of get back into their usual bullshit. And like, oh, Baby Blue, you're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna meekly smile because obviously things aren't going well, and I fear it may not be going well with me as well. Like I may be part of this as why they're not doing good.
Zinc kind of stands up and is like, hey, no, don't, no,
No.
no sads. We recognize that horrible, uneven shooting from you. You saved our fucking asses.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked. I was able to do that.
You just shot a lot at whatever.
Listen.
You can think you're skilled if you want, pal. Anyway, that does matter, but and then Nickel kind of takes over for Zinc, who can't fucking speak on her life. And it's like, you should meet our new bestest friend.
Oh.
And the masked rebel in the cot kind of like meekly waves. And they're like, this is Lyra. She's the one we fucking like saved, and she's rad as fuck.
I'm gonna
And
wave.
also, we love her, and she's great. She's just like, hi, you're like their person?
Friend, I guess. Hey, buddy, how's it going, though? Things looked rough out there. Glad you made it.
They got rough. I can't thank you enough, I guess, for the shooting.
Yeah, don't worry about
from
it.
what I understand, I was kind of behind there when I got hurt. I heard the commander talking. Were you the one that like stopped the fucking the mortar?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Nickel and Zinc like kind of like light up, and they're just like, "What the fuck, though?"
What the fuck?
And Lyra just kind of like reaches out her hand. She kind of like tries to lean up, but like can't too well.
Oh, I'm gonna
and it's,
step
like,
over
trying to-
closer to. Because obviously she's trying to shake my hand.
Yeah, she's shaking your hand.
Okay, I grab one hand to shake and put the other hand on the other side of her hand.
Yeah, she's just like, you don't look it, but goddamn, are you helpful?
You look
Sorry,
useless,
I'm
pal.
sorry. That sounded really fucking rude, but
No, I get it all the time, don't worry.
Nickel speaks up and is like, yeah, Baby Blue doesn't... don't fucking worry about him. He's cool. And they basically just kind of shoot the shit with you for a good while. And you, like, in a complete, like, 180 from before, they're just, like, you're back to your usual, like, kind of goofy dipwad self.
Yeah, I feel better about this now.
How did you meet these people?
Oh.
How did you meet Nickel and Zinc?
Well...
No, I'm not talking as Lyra, but I'm asking you,
good.
player.
Me, the
you
player.
don't have to do the voice for so long.
Okay, good.
If
well,
you want to, you can.
I'm going to say, perhaps while he was doing one of his side shows for, Giuseppe's, the SS Exodia was docked. He was doing one of his side shows, and they just kind of started. Nickel and Zinc was like, "Here, eat this. Now eat this. Now eat this. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck?" And I guess just kind
So
of.
you think that you didn't know them before you started this gig? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I did not
But
know
you-
them
you-
beforehand.
So like before that point, everyone was just completely transient. Like they were gonna leave at some point.
Yeah, because you can only go on so long with the same act.
But these people stuck around, huh?
Yeah, these people were like, what the fuck? He can, what the, okay, no, I gotta see how much longer he can do this. I gotta see this out. I'm so sorry, but what the fuck? I gotta see this out. This is too much.
So you think that they're like it went beyond just like the act, and they're just like they want to see where you go as a person?
Oh, maybe as an act at first.
Right. It probably like evolved into actually following you and not your act.
Yeah.
Okay. How long do you think you've been with them?
7 or 8 years, maybe a little more.
So you think that this whole racket y'all has been going on for almost a decade?
Yeah.
Does that sound right to Apom or to you, Giuseppe and Lug?
A decade,
y'all have-
maybe give or take a few years. I don't
It'll
know.
take a few years.
So you've been really at this for a long time, huh?
Yeah, I guess
So
it
like
depends
this
on how
whole
long.
like yeah, this whole thing has been going. This whole like weird shit is like really a big surprise, huh? Like this hasn't like this isn't something that happens after 8 fucking years. This is something that happens as like a really scary thing.
Yeah, I never thought about Giuseppe's age actually.
Yeah.
I sort of always missed him at like late 20s at like the oldest. I don't know.
God, I've always imagined Rusty as like a 39-year-old man, maybe 40-something.
Yeah, you're the old guy in the group, huh?
Yeah, I mean, look at him. I'm shocked he made it that old, okay? He's on his last leg.
The old
in this
man
universe.
with the baby face.
Yeah, with the baby face. How does he do it?
God. Local doctors hate him.
I mean, with enough
Local
iron in your
dermatologists hate
diet.
him. Man just looks like a fucking baby.
I mean, I guess with enough iron in your diet.
I guess so. I guess that's the way you do it. You
That's
either
the
eat a shitload of cereal or you eat fucking literal nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
This diet made him look young and nubile. Doctors hate
Jeez, it's like
gang leaders hate him.
okay, it's like fucking Bloody Mary, but instead of taking
dead.
blood, it's just the iron part specifically. Just taking iron instead.
So, beyond that, do you think that like Nickel and Zinc were an item when they joined, or do you think they like eventually became an item?
I want to say an item before they
Okay,
joined.
so they were together and they just kind of like they were both like real fucked up about you, and then
Yeah.
they just like decided to be like, well, there's this whole gig on this boat, and we can just keep doing that.
Yeah, they grabbed each other's shoulders. They're like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? You know, like what you do with your friend whenever you see something exciting
Yeah,
and kind of wild? Yeah.
and that just never got old, huh?
No, never got old. Weird.
Do you think that you'd be checking up on anything else in this few hours?
I'd occasionally peep out to see how my followers are doing. But, you know, they're not doing too well.
Okay,
Like,
I think I'll say
like
that they ready themselves at like by the time it happens. Like they steel themselves. They know that like they've got one last push and then the job's done.
Okay.
They just know that like this is pretty fucked up.
I've got to do something big for them. To thank them for all of this and pushing through it.
Yeah.
For my final act, I will eat the SX Exodia.
Free change of cost.
Oh!
Yeah, leg holding me back. No, you can't do that.
I mean, like, if you need to dispose of anything,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
got
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I'm here.
Giuseppe. Let's see. You said that you'd be checking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be checking up on your folks.
Yeah. We'll be talking to people too on the around.
Right. It's different having your crew just kind of always on you. It feels awkward and kind of like at first you were kind of like you felt like they were, I don't know, just like tagging along to help, but you realize that most of the time they're just being completely quiet. You know that they're packing heat, and whereas before they weren't. Like Fuzz has a gun now. Fuzz has like one of the communist SMGs, and you know that she's never picked up a gun in her life. They look very serious, in a kind of upsetting way. You're not sure if you like it. Who would you probably have checked up on first?
Of like people in my crew, or
Of the people who are not in your.
I'd say Len probably, since I consider him my buddy. I think I've
Alright.
gotten to know him the best of all of the people here.
Yeah, you head over to the quartermaster's area, and while it's relatively behind lines, you think that it took a pretty close shot. The ground right outside of its door is like got a big hole. Like the building's fine, the door's fine, except for the shrapnel that's embedded. But like the part where you would enter does not have the floor,
Hmm.
so you have to hop. It's kind of weird. But you hop in, and it's a little awkward because everyone else has to hop in to get into the room, and they crowd in. And Len's there, and he's got his arm in a sling, but he is his usual like kind of awkward but optimistic self. And he moves to wave with the arm in the sling, but he's like, oh, yeah. And then he thinks better of it, and he waves with his other arm, and it's like, hey pal, some fight, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty rough getting to wake up and just like sending myself out there.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't have asked you that if it wasn't. Oh well, I don't think the commander would have asked you that if she didn't absolutely need you to. But it sounds like you did real good out there, yeah, despite the whole any kind of points to the eye.
Don't worry about it. It was fine. I handled myself well out there, I think.
Better
You
than
made-
well, pal. But like I was on the radio, I heard that shit. But God, I didn't think it would come to this.
Me neither.
It was all skirmishes until that.
What do you think made him so desperate?
Uh, Probably the fact that we did take their supplies.
Yeah, that made
Um,
him out of. Maybe we should have tried to push him. Tried to
But it doesn't.
get the.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. They have the peak. Why would they? They can just get more shit from the peak. So I think that they were cut off.
Hmm.
I think for some reason they couldn't get back in. I think that they were without leadership. I think that they were on their last legs, and so they came at us with all the fervor of somebody without any food to eat. But enough about that. We kicked their asses, and we sent what few of them are still alive running, and the rest are, well, you know.
Hmm.
I can't be too happy about this, you know. Like they were They were my family once. I
Yeah,
hope after all this there won't be any more of this kind of shit.
I hope so too. Both me and you.
So what brings you here?
So I just wanted to check up on you and see how you were doing.
Okay.
I
Did
don't know.
they want to as well? And he points to your crew that are.
They're keeping an eye on me, I'd say. I think they're nervous after all the stuff's happened to me. God,
Uh,
you know what happened to me. God, fucking
I
scary.
heard about it. I don't know much about it. I will say that it's kind of fucked up. The most I know is that whatever you tangoed with has been plaguing some of the merchants. I don't know more than that. I don't think any of us have seen it because we never went up to help them.
Hmm. I want that thing gone as soon as possible. I want Jerry dead. That'll be
I-
the last thing. If that's the last thing I do, it'll be that.
It sounds like we have a vested interest in getting rid of it if it's fucking with a lot of people's lives.
I don't want it
Doesn't
hurting
sound like
anyone
it'll
else.
just show up though. So
It comes from me. It knows. It doesn't like me. I think it.
well, it doesn't like a lot of people. It sounds like,
Mm.
but if you really think that you've got a big target painted on you, then I guess the only thing you can do is have some, people watching over you.
Yeah, if you guys ever need our help after this, or if we need your help, I hope we can keep each other's backs.
Well, I guess the hope is that we won't need you too much, but if anything, we're going to be giving you a lot of shit after this.
Mm.
I don't know if Lena gave you any specifics, but I hope that we have what you need so that this isn't, what you paid isn't less than you got.
Sounds good to me.
We've all lost a lot from this.
I just want to stop people from losing anymore.
Well, if you want to do that, you better
Hey.
get out there and start doing. I can't help you with that too much.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta stay here and rest, Len.
Here's to taking the peak, pal.
Yep. One last thing. You still remember the promise I made you, right?
Which one was that?
If once one of these nights I'll like invite you guys on the boat and play a song with my
Oh
band.
yeah, I'd love that if after all this is over, after tonight, I could use some drinks in a nice location.
I hope I can get the band together for that.
I mean, they're all here, aren't they?
Yeah, I just feel like they may not be willing to play at the moment. Not a lot of joy going around.
Several of them kind of like bristle at when you say that, as though they like want to say something about it, but they don't.
Mm.
Giuseppe, how did you meet these people? This is me asking you, not Len.
Okay. I'm thinking. I've thought a little bit about it, I guess. Yeah, Giuseppe has always been interested in like old world culture, and of course, music has always been his primary interest. And like ever since he like basically set off on his own to make his living, he decided he wanted to make a band somehow or some other, and that's where he got the instruments from. Of course, he went into the debt near the start of his like basically career as like a merchant or whatever, as basically went into debt by buying those instruments from BG. Probably not a wise decision in the long run. And he
So
decided
were they with you when you bought the instruments,
I
or did
don't
you buy them before having the crew?
I think I bought them before the crew.
Ah, you were really invested in this, huh?
Yeah, he's he was very idealistic back then. He still is now, really. But yeah, he gradually just like over time when he was building like the SS Exodia to, or like, at least like planning out to like what kind of place he wanted to carve himself out, he started to look around for people who would make the start of a crew, and he picked up a strong bodyguard who would carry his own weight, a guy who knew his connections even if he wasn't the cleanest person around, a woman who wanted to see the world and could help however she wanted, and then a grump who mostly just wanted to get some money. And ultimately, they've all got together and formed together the SS Exodia, a place where people can come to hang out, relax, see some freak shows, listen to some music, get some drinks, all that.
All right. Do you have anyone else that you'd want to check up on?
I don't think so.
All right. Wind. You said you wanted to check up on Lorem.
Yeah.
All right. You're in the workshop right now, kind of trying to help hammer away at the axle of this wheel. It turns out that repairing things that are literally just broken is real fucking hard. And Lorem does not have extra parts, so you're trying to repair the fucked up garbage. And it's hell.
Is it made of metal?
Yep.
I'd like to get my welding shit from my boat then and use that to help repair this then.
Okay. It's hard to move it. I think Lorem gets some extra hands to move it because it doesn't have wheels, and she thanks you profusely. But she starts talking a little bit after the welding gets kind of gotten through. I have to commend you on the shooting.
Thank you.
I'd never shot that cannon before, and frankly, I was a little bit afraid that it would explode in the barrel. How did?
So the bit he's iffy on how to feel about that, but he can tell that she's a lot more experienced than most engineers out there. If I would have wanted anyone building this, it would have been you.
That's a little forward. We barely know each other.
You know, I can tell you know a lot more, especially than me. I don't know anyone who would be more qualified.
Okay, you're getting a little bit creepy, pal. Let's just keep it at a professional, friendly distance.
Or has no clue what she's talking about.
Anyway, I'd like to real quick get some of your opinions on this. And she pulls out like a clipboard and is like, how would you describe? Did any gases escape during the operation? Do you have any strange smells? Do you feel lightheaded? How was the rumbling like? Did your seat feel uncomfortable? And she just starts listing off a whole fuckload of questions and really just does not like wait for you to answer at all.
I answer to the best of my abilities. If
Your
you,
abilities are not sufficient.
should we,
Uh,
to compensate, most of the answers get merged together, so Ian knows.
okay. Wind. Or not wind. Lug. Oh, well, lug and wind. In other words. How did all three of you meet?
Uh,
How did all this like kind of come about?
So yeah,
Uh,
I was the one who founded the ship
like
with.
Lug's father was a
Oh, sorry.
scavenger or salvager, and at the time Lug was looking for work in a boat that he could continue the profession in because he knew how to do it, and that's kind of how he grew up. He grew up knowing how to do it, and it is just as simple as I'm qualified to do this. I've done it my whole life, and of course, in a workplace environment like that, you've got to get to know your colleagues and your employer, and the local clown.
So,
Plus
you're
Who do we
saying
say
that
who do we say came first? Rusty or Lug?
Lug, probably.
So I guess like we need like a
Yes.
boat mechanic of some
Lug
sort, like
probably
with
would've-
me and my 3 or 4 other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that seems more important than God, a man who eats. The man who eats, imagine. No
Yeah,
one's
maybe,
ever done that
maybe
before.
at like one point you just. I think at one point you like got on our ship to transfer around, and then we realized that you brought a lot of people with you, and I needed business at the time, and I said, "Oh hey, you should come along."
Yeah, I accidentally brought him up whenever I heard you guys playing.
Hmm.
It just kind of followed me,
I
Whips.
feel like I feel like Rusty like went to the salvage yard and just started eating shit, and then we sailed off with him on the boat. And he was essentially a stowaway.
You know what? That sounds
that's a pretty good.
That's like 10 times better. Let's go with that.
The irony is that would have worked really well if anyone was a hard holder, because the hard holder's HX move or ask is who stole from me? Who owes me because they stole from me?
Oh, Whips! I'm so sorry. That's my bad.
So from me.
So
Rusty's actually only doing this to pay off his immense debt.
It keeps growing.
so the order is Giuseppe founded it, got wind on Dick because he needed a mechanic, and then later on you stowed on their fucking boat,
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds good to me.
and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this like during the first session, but I don't really remember a whole lot about it, so I'd like to reiterate. Where'd the boat come from?
I wouldn't say I built it my whole self because that would be unrealistic. Giuseppe doesn't know how to build boats, and I don't know if he bought it because he was already in debt from buying the instruments.
I have a suggestion.
What's
Uh
that?
Well, it would involve it being like bought, but I was like, what if like Giuseppe bought like a section of like one of those like floating towns? He like bought a small portion of it, which is the size of the boat, and he just chipped away at it so it would come loose and become the.
God.
So like you're saying like he kind of like purchased property and then was like, I want to leave.
This is
And
mine now.
Just did a Looney Tunes sawing thing and thought, oh,
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
how you do it. That's just.
so that's why the like middle is like the most stable part because it was part of an actual town, and the rest of it is like kind of iffy because you've been building
Yeah.
onto that.
You make do with what you have.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose.
Make do with
Gonna-
what you take. Yep. Sounds good. I've been renting this property for 3 days.
Lug, you're kind of like just like trying to keep up with Lorem for a while, but her questions eventually end, and she seems satisfied.
Well,
I understand that you will be likely with the first into the peak, correct?
correct.
I don't have any advice for you other than do not listen to them.
Pardon?
We have given too much for this. I don't distrust you, but see this through.
he gives a Sodom nod, and before she gets a chance, really, he goes, I want to ask you something now.
Go ahead.
And he kind of brings her outside. He looks for something like a metal rod or something that is like he could drag it along the ground outside. He brings her outside, and he starts drawing a little bit. It's kind of just a square, and he's talking. He's kind of mumbling. He's like, I want to build something. I want to protect my friends, family, but I need input. And he's struggling. He is really struggling with this drawing because he's got this weird square, and I guess he labels it raft. His eyes at that point, and he's searching deep in his mind for a way to convey what he's doing, what he wants. And he opens his mind to the world's, or he attempts to open his mind to the world's second maelstrom.
Ooh, golly.
+2.
Okay, that's good enough. So what are you opening it about? I assume you're trying to look for some sort of an image of what you're trying to like translate it into a picture.
Yeah. He wants to do this. He thinks it's possible, but he doesn't know, and he wants to be able to convey it as much of a possible way as he can without knowing what makes it possible. He's thinking as hard as he can.
All right.
Something that would make sense.
So you become vulnerable to the psychic maelstrom again, and you can see those sort of like white blueprint lines all converging into an image. You see fishermen, and you see fish, and you see nets, and you see dive bombers, and you see cannons, and you see fire, and you see rushing water, and you see life on water like you've never seen it before. And you don't know exactly how, you don't exactly when, but you see that what you want to do has been done, and that it could happen again.
Is that all then?
Pretty much. I'd like to ask you a question, though.
Of course.
What does it feel like when Lug takes a life?
It's scary. It's very scary, but at the same time, it's relieving. Not in a I needed to get this out of my system sort of way, but I'm safe now way. And he sees it as if he had to take a life, it was for the greater good to protect him or protect someone he needed to protect. And he sees it as, well, he wouldn't, it was weird and it feels wrong, more or less just like he shouldn't have. It feels like something bad had just happened, but it's over now.
Okay. You kind of try to like sketch this out, and it's sloppy, and it's a little weird, and some of it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But Lorem seems to get the idea, and she doesn't smile, but you see kind of a twinkle in her eye. And she looks to you and says, if this is what you want in exchange for your work here, you have our support.
Thank you. And he kind of puts, he props the rod up against the wall of the workshop the outside, of course, and he looks over at this image, and he's kind of tilting his head at it. It looks like he honestly doesn't understand it all the way either, but he feels like he got something out of this at least.
Time passes, whether in like joy with friends or with colleagues, or surrounded by people that they think they were sure were friends but are a little more distant now. Time passes, and the sun goes down, and some clouds roll in. And Lana shows up to each of you individually and says, it's time. Gather your people, gather yourselves. This is the end of it. And then she starts to lead a procession up the mountain, past the battlefield, past the bodies, past the things that were gained and lost, past the people that you saved and the people who you killed, past the buildings that you maybe within a year or two were where people lived are empty. And as you push up the mountain, you can feel it around you. That sort of raw emotion that the emotional skyscraper tries to push on you. But every one of you have your helmets, and so it is a moot point. It does not reach your ears. Rusty, you feel kind of a rustling near your chest.
Oh, I'm gonna look down at my egg immediately.
The egg seems to it's moving, and it feels like it's moving with purpose.
Oh, I'm gonna lift the egg up a little bit, take it out of the little baby sling I've made for it, and kind of hold it up.
Now that it's in your hands, you can feel pretty definitely. It feels like as though it's tugging you at the peak.
Fellas, I don't know what's going on with the egg, but I think he wants up at the peak as well.
Rusty just lets everybody know that the egg's wanting. Seems to be tugging.
How did Giuseppe and Lug react to that?
I feel like it's sort of second nature at this point to expect the egg to be doing weird stuff. So I'm maybe a little startled, but I just I guess more so I look at everyone else to see if they're startled by the egg, since I don't think any of them know about it yet.
Your crew are definitely eyeing Rusty with some not even really veiled creep. Not so much disgust, but
Glug kind of breaks the awkward silence of looking at the egg, and he kind of goes, if it weren't for the priests of the day, I'd be shaken to my fucking core.
It wasn't supposed to be funny, but...
Nickel and Zinc kind of just look at it alright.
Use the egg.
Lungs is quiet, but I guess gives the most normal person look as that's fuck.
What the fuck? Don't like that.
Alright, sure.
Hey
great.
Rusty, I don't like that. Could you stop? Could you put the egg back, please?
Could you unplug it?
Yeah. Good. Do you need to change the thing's batteries? Well, I guess.
Okay.
What?
Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna be like, maybe if seeing as I figured out what the egg is wanting, so I think I'm gonna shush bap the egg, not hard, obviously, because I care and love for the egg. Kind of like what
it calms down a little.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm gonna put it back into the little sling real quick and kind of rock it a bit. Toad stop saying.
No toad stopping. Y'all continue up the peak.
Oh god.
And, the darkness sets in, and it's even darker because of the kind of nasty clouds in the sky. And as you kind of get close to the peak, it starts to rain pretty heavily. Fat, wet drops of water, splish and splashing.
Oh, now I'm wet for a reason.
But you reach the peak, and you walk past a barbed wire gate, and the peak isn't really what you thought it would be, huh?
Is it just a shack?
It's completely flat.
It sure is a peak. It's like
it's less like a peak and
plateau.
more like a platform.
Fucking plateau.
There is an outhouse in the center of it.
There's some sort of a guard shack nearby, but nobody's in it. The only things that are there are a strange metal circle in the middle of it, and a console that is on top of that platform. And Lena becks y'all over to it, has y'all stand within the circle, and looks at y'all and kind of nods.
I'm gonna shake my head real quick, like I don't.
I'm gonna like flash a thumbs up, I guess. Is my band still crowding around me, or have they stepped off for now?
They're a little bit further from you because they understand that the fighting's going to happen, but they're still around you. They haven't really spoken much. They seem very on edge. Lena turns away from y'all and presses up against that strange console, and you hear a voice come from it. A very kind of grating voice that goes, "State identity." And Lena speaks, LU8645. State purpose. Entrance. And nothing happens for a sec until there's a shutter beneath your feet. And that circle begins to descend.
Don't like this. Rusty, don't
Oh,
like
boy.
this.
And it descends with a welcome back.
Oh no.
Don't like this. Shaking my head.
Yeah.
It descends in complete darkness for at least a good 30 seconds.
Outside
before-
of the glow of the egg, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing that's any light is that eerie glow.
Nice.
It doesn't really illuminate
Don't. I
besides
have a lighter.
Look, bro.
until some lights flash on when it stops, and you see some pretty interesting stuff. The walls are all very smooth, very clean, very white. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, really.
Don't like
It
it.
doesn't seem like it would be real, but it is, because you're seeing it. You slap or pinch yourselves, and you're still there.
Don't like it.
Lights brighter than any you've seen, walls cleaner than any you've known. There's chairs that you've only ever seen on the bottom of your salvaging runs as waterlogged trophies of like rich traders at their stores they show off. There's a single desk in the room that you enter with some sort of a machine on it. Otherwise, pretty much almost entirely spotless, as though whoever was last here had only just left. Lena picks up her radio, her walkie-talkie, and speaks. How's Team 2 going? And you hear Lorm's voice bark back out. It's not letting us. Something's not going right. And over time, as she speaks, you realize that like whatever signal is coming in is getting more and more garbled until you can't really tell anything that she's saying. And then Lena just kind of frustratedly clicks the walkie-talkie off. No matter. This will be over one way or another. Fuzz looks to you, Giuseppe. She kind of looks at you.
I shrug. I don't know what's going on either. I'm scared. I have like my ready to grab my magnum if I need to. Is it a magnum? I forgot.
Yeah, it's a magnum of some
Yeah.
sort. Your knife gun.
I haven't like drawn it, but I have it like near me.
Okay. She gets that you don't have any answer for her, and she looks away and kind of brings her gun closer to her chest. Bung puts a hand on your shoulder, probably hoping some sort of reassurance, but he's squeezing a little too hard. The rest of them silent, staring forward, waiting to be told to move.
Wait, quick question: is Quill with me, or is she staying behind?
Quill got shot in the foot.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Whoops.
She was the one actually helping most of the folks, considering Elena couldn't really get around too well.
Okay, just making sure.
Rusty, the egg's pulsing.
Oh,
It's not tugging you anymore. It's just kind of like emitting some sort of force every couple seconds.
I'm gonna pat the egg and rub it a bit more. Rock it a bit as well. Don't know what's going on with the egg. I'm new to this fathering business, so...
Nickel and Zinc kind of like look at you a little nonplussed, like not really affected too much. They're used to this shit, but the rest of your folks are kind of eyeing you with a bit of... you're not really sure what.
Listen, alright. It's pulsating. I gotta do something about it. This has worked in the past, alright?
Trying to reassure him.
Lena's... You realize that Lena just kind of hasn't even been looking your way and is kind of, I guess, standing a moment, staring off.
I mean, she shouldn't
but
look at me.
She waves forward. The way will be simple. We're just going... There's only one way to go. Just follow me. And she leads you down a small hallway until you get to a particular one of the rooms that she seems to be leading you through. The layout of this place is a bit strange in that you haven't been in a whole lot of like places, of like multiple like facility type places, with purpose. But it seems a bit weird to have things just kind of go straight through rooms. This next room that you get to is even more strange than the one before. There's tables wider than bleached bone and railing shinier than the most well-kept of metals that you've ever seen. Clean, empty trays line the railings, along with little empty trows in them. It's a little bit dusty, you realize. There's not a whole lot in the room except for a single tray sitting on one of the many tables in it. On the table is a single thing.
What is
what do
it?
y'all do?
I want to look at the thing. Don't go up to it. I want to look and examine it.
I want to
Right
not
here.
touch the thing. I
You
want to let
kind of
other people look at the thing.
you pad over close enough that you can tell what it is, and it looks like it might be food. You haven't seen bread very often, but you're sure that there's something in the middle of two pieces of bread.
What the
The
fuck?
thing is it's like some sort of browned something.
I don't understand what this is as Rusty. I'm going to look at Lena real quick to see her see what she does as I walk up to it. Just look
She's not
back
looking
me.
at you.
Okay, good. I can just go up to it.
She's leaned up against one of the tables, kind of staring off again.
I'm gonna pick up this tray and look at whatever the fuck's on this tray. What the
I'm
fuck
shaking
is
my
this?
head. I'm not going yet.
What is this?
See, you see it a bit
If Rusty
closer.
is near me, I step back. I step away from him.
You see it a bit closer. You realize that it smells pretty damn good.
I can smell through my helmet?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna show it to Nickel and Zinc. Like, what the hell? It smells. What the fuck? What is
What the
this?
fuck is this, baby blue?
I don't.
I don't know. Smells good.
Well,
Could I shove this into the helmet? Like, from the little underneath it and still be okay?
I'll say it'll be a little bit messy.
Okay, I'm going to... Should I roll for that? I want to roll for that. What would I roll for that?
Roll for that?
Don't
I wanna
eat
roll for
that. How much can I roll to stop Rusty from eating the
Roll
sandwich?
Roll
you
8
can roll
checks.
interfere.
You can roll 8 checks.
But
roll
then
8
I'll
checks.
then I'll injure him.
No, that's
you
just
won't.
interfering with it. That's just like grabbing my hand. Go ahead.
Will Rusty die if he eats this sandwich?
We don't know. We gotta check.
Rusty does a somersault and eats the sandwich before. No, Giuseppe does a somersault and eats it before Rusty.
Unlike
I can't eat
Lug,
it. I don't want to touch this
no,
thing. I don't-
unlike Lug, I can actually put things in my helmet.
Fuck up.
So
One time.
are you gonna roll? Are you gonna roll your 8 checks against me?
I don't know if I should or not.
Do it. Do it anyway if you want to.
Oh, fine. How does that work?
Just roll it, and then it's like,
you add your XX.
yeah, it's roll plus HX.
If
Yep.
it's 7 to
Okay.
9, you
This
can
is-
do
can-
a plus or...
Okay, this is a roll to prevent Rusty from eating that sandwich. Just like not eat it myself, just like push it away from him.
Grab my arm.
Fuck.
So the way that works is that you get like the you. let me read this real
You
quick.
trip.
Yeah, you
Your
trip
mouse
on your way
breaks
over.
open.
This is awful.
I slap
Why
you.
am I doing this? I
So,
hate this sandwich. It's
On a
gonna be
miss, be prepared for the worst.
Oh no, no! Why'd
This
you
isn't a
push
miss
me?
though. This is oh no, it is a miss.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh fuck
His
me.
isn't this. I made it. I got that 8.
You,
Total party
Rusty,
kill.
you see Rusty bringing this closer to like more to his neck, and you're like, oh, this stupid motherfucker's gonna eat this random goddamn thing he found in a weird facility. And you grab his hand, and Rusty's like, no, I want it.
Grab the
like,
hand
it's a
that
little-
isn't holding it.
There's a momentary tug of war until Rusty just kind of like is like, fine, fucker, and just kind of like lets go. And your tug like kind of just smashes yourself in the face.
Oh, how much damage do I take?
No, you smash yourself in the face with that sandwich,
Oh boy.
and it's in your mouth.
No, what? I thought it's my skull. I thought I had my helmet on.
You did it real good.
God damn it.
Felt
Yeah,
so
God
good you ate the
fucking-
sandwich.
God fucking damn it. It was like, it's gonna be like poop or something. I just know it.
What's it
You
taste
realize
like?
that like you kind of recognize this texture.
Oh no.
You panic and try to like go but you're like, wait a second.
I hate this.
What's it?
It reminds you a little bit of like rats still exist in this universe.
Oh
Oh,
no.
it's rat sandwich. Hell yeah, dude.
It reminds you of it, but it doesn't like the texture is that, but the taste isn't.
Oh
And-
boy.
Like
I
it's
just-
a little bit stale, the bread, but it tastes like a good day.
I just
It
ate
tastes like things lost, like a lost child. It is
boy.
delicious.
I
It
just
is
ate it.
upsettingly delicious.
Oh no.
And you know that like it'll be very rare that you eat anything that tastes this nice.
I just ate rat.
No, you
It's
ate.
not rat.
You ate
It's
something
not
really
rat,
good.
you fucking chungus.
It's turkey. It's a good turkey ham sandwich with a
I
little
wanna
bit of
eat
mustard.
This. I wanted to prevent
a
you
little
from
bit of
eating it. Now I'm gonna get
cheese.
in trouble, or this is gonna be like a mind control device. I hate this. Fucking bad, awful rolls. Thank you, Sidekick Bot.
Is there more sandwich left?
He gets like half of it.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna eat the
boy.
other half. I ain't afraid to
It
share
tastes real-
food.
It tastes real damn nice.
Oh fucking hell yeah, dude.
Lug, it's
You
all up to
recognize that
you.
it's
We're
not
gonna
like-
be dead.
You recognize that it's not bird and it's not like it's not fish.
Okay. Tastes
It is like it's nice browned and
I like this. Rusty's gonna compliment the sandwich.
Oh boy.
This is a damn good sandwich.
I want to offer some because I didn't eat the whole bit. I just got a bite. I'm gonna offer some to Nickel and Zink.
they each take a tentative bite and they're like, oh shit.
Fucking hell yeah. Hey.
Lena dear, Lena pal, Lenny, the fuck is this?
Oh boy.
And she kind of like, she's finally like shaken out of whatever revere she's in. That's a burger.
Oh fucking hell yeah, dude! I gotta eat
It's-
a burger.
I wanna eat a bit.
It's meat between two buns. If you're done, we
It's so
should.
fucking good.
Is this? Is this like? What is the catch with this? Why is it here?
I'm being treated
Food
tonight.
poisoning.
We eat here.
We?
Yeah, we?
All of
Hold on.
us.
Been in a
This is
coma.
our home. You knew this. We told you. This is where we should be. This is what we're taking back.
I like nod my head, but like somewhat get it, somewhat don't. Just like nod my head.
I'm gonna wipe the crumbs on my shirt. One of my shirts.
Some of those crumbs get on the egg.
Oh no, not on the egg. I'm gonna wipe the egg off.
Egg absorption.
The crumbs are gone before you swipe them off.
Oh damn it!
like-
I should have given.
Fuck, I was
damn it,
joking.
I wanted to get. If I had known that, I would have given the egg something to eat too. I say as Rusty. I'm
still have
very
that soup.
upset. Oh, hey, yeah, you do have that soup. Are you gonna mention that as Lug, or are you just saying it as
I
when?
think
just
we
saying it.
need the soup as a Chekhov's gun.
Can I have
I
some
guess
of that
this will be
soup?
one more thing that you can look forward to after this is over.
Yeah, I get to actually feed this egg. This is so exciting.
Lena, she's not really looking with much emotion. It's difficult to read her, but she beckons y'all forth with a, we should keep going. Again, the end will have to come sometime. It's still a ways, but I hope you'll stick. And then she leads you down another short hallway to an elevator that is like, it's very different from the platform in that it's a lot smaller and only seems to hold maybe a maximum of, say, 6 people, so it takes like several trips for everyone to get down. The ground is carpet.
What the fuck is that? What's carpet?
You've seen it in a couple of, it's not like the super rare, but you've only really see it in people who are wealthy with like a small carpet in a well-traveled area.
I'd say Rusty has only seen it wet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Seeing it dry is new.
It's not gonna be dry with Rusty on it.
Yeah, it's kind of wet underneath him, but that's okay. Fucking slippery Pete over here.
You enter a room with more of that carpeting, and you see like rows and rows of machines that look similar to that thing that you saw in the very first room, with a black screen, a strange body that kind of slopes back. More like mirrors than they are a machine. You're quite sure that there's something that does something. All empowered, all silent. These black screens number easily 100. There's so many in this room. So many desks, so many chairs, so much. Except for a single screen that seems to cycle between images, just completely apropos of nothing. And the one that lasts the longest is a very strange that is difficult to really understand at all. It is it's a white it's a black screen completely except for white lettering that seems to be in several different languages. Like, you can read the top line, but you can't really read any of the others. You can only assume that this is like just somebody's trying to tell a lot of people something. But the top line you can understand, and it says, "We're so sorry."
God, I wish I could read.
I wish I could not read, so then I wouldn't have to have more quandaries.
Lena comes up behind you as you stare at the screen and says, "We've been trying to figure out what this means. It's been here since the beginning. Even before I was born, we've been trying to figure out what this means at all. We don't know who it was written by, and we don't know why it's here, but it's on every computer, and it's always somewhere in there." Go on.
Lug kind of tilts his head at the screen. And he kind of does like that weird thing with your body where you make like a U to look upside down at something.
Uh-huh.
He's looking, and I'd like to roll sharp to see if I can see anything weird in it.
Thinking about him.
A move.
Because you wanted to roll sharp. That's like a Citra person.
I guess that would be Well,
Uh,
no, that wouldn't be a sit.
I'd say that like you could have done something if you had speed.
Yeah, I
otherwise,
don't-
like there's not a whole lot you can glean from it.
If I had Bone Feel, that would have been, or Sing Speak, rather.
Yeah, it's a powerful, but it's mostly because people can't
I
just
guess
do
I can't
that.
really do anything with it.
It's just a weird thing. If you had a lot of time and a lot of effort, you could probably figure something out, but it doesn't seem like Lena's going to allow that. But I did say that the images were like cycling. That one just lasts for a while, and it cycles through a few images, landscapes of places that you can only think of in your dreams, like rolling fields of green and cream, and colors that you only see like once every year at most. And then a few that just make absolutely no sense. You see this one in particular that lasts a little longer than the others. Lena doesn't have anything to say about that one.
Wait, what did you put that?
Oh, I did put in the bot channel.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, like, hold on. We're all waiting.
Well, I kind of
Stop
fucked that
this!
whole thing.
Stop! Stop, I hate this so much. I can't believe we're being memed on in fucking Apocalypse World.
It's happened before. It's just gonna keep happening.
I'm glad I can't read.
Go aggro on the machine.
You don't understand this screen, but this particular image fills you with so much rage that you just don't understand it.
I think guys think we need to stop the contemptuous witch.
I like this. I, as Rusty, love this image, though. Rusty absolutely adores this image.
Wonderful. Lena beckons you on regardless. Everybody kind of like taking a turn as you walk on to like look at it. What the fuck?
I'm gonna fucking cry.
But she leads you down another hallway, and she stops in the middle of this hallway because there's a door to your left that she recognizes, it seems. And the ones that you can read see that there's a plaque above it that says high value storage. And she kind of looks to you and with a little more, I guess, fairness than before. I think this can help us. I can get this door open, but I'll need people to get in and grab anything. There's a lot of shit in there that might be useful, but all I can do is open the door, though, if I haven't had my access locked out. But I don't think anybody's been here to actually do that. And then I'm going to have how many? 1, 2, 3. Can I? I'm going to need everyone else to be trying to hold this door open. I think that you three will be the only ones able to get in and get out.
Oh boy.
And this is where I'll introduce this wonderful move that I've made.
Oh, new mechanic. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh no.
This will probably only be for this session.
Game mechanics.
Oh.
Oh no.
The move is that's mine now, thanks. Roll plus whatever. You guys get to basically like choose what you roll and give an explanation of why that's what you're rolling. If you convince me that that would work, then it works. 10 plus, you grab exactly what you want, as well as a document detailing what it does, kinda. A 7 and 9, you get what you want, but you don't know what it does until you use it. Have fun. On a 6 or lower, you grab something, but I choose what it is.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, I hope I roll bad. I want to roll bad. Just to see what happens, but
This is
So when you
chaos
say
amount
plus
of dice.
whatever, do we just choose any one of our stats?
You choose a stat, you tell me how you use that in the process of taking shit. If it's good, I'll say, yeah, sure. We'll start with Apom.
oh yay,
Okay.
yippee! Oh, I'm so excited. I want to know.
So, what are you using and how are you using it?
I don't wanna use hot. That would be too aggressive for me. Let's see, hot. I feel like I could use hot and like I can use my hat. Like is this like how you convinced you to grab a certain item?
No, this is how you get the item. Like, you're taking shit.
But like, I use
you're
my
telling me how that stat thing makes sense.
Huh. I may need an example. Can someone else go first? Sorry.
Sure.
I can go first.
Go for it.
I'm gonna roll /weird.
How are you making weird work?
I'm going to just, open my mind, rub the egg, figure out what the fuck's in here, what's good for me as Rusty.
Okay, so you're kind of like asking the psychic maelstrom.
Yeah, asking
like,
the egg.
Okay, the egg specifically, but you're also making yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just doing some weird shit. That's fair.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Go ahead and roll.
Go ahead and roll. Yippee.
Pretty dang good.
I didn't want that. Hey.
I'll trade.
So, I'll tell y'all the things after y'all have like done your rolls and such.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know what's in there. Or what I want.
Right.
So I get good. Yippee.
Yep. Lug, what do you do?
Before... Well, I guess I would have to describe what I'm gonna attempt to do. I want to do a hard roll.
Okay.
And my logic is I want to essentially dive in there, like pseudo midair pinpoint something, and kind of do like a little landing roll over to it, grab it, and bolt out.
Okay, you're doing a real smash and grab, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like you're pushing shit over. You're like smashing the display case. You're like, fuck you, give me my thing.
Fucking Black Friday over here.
No, not smashing, but they're probably pushing shit.
Right.
It smashed in the pushing process. It's okay. Okay.
Lug passes something that would make him the level 100 boss.
So go ahead and roll.
That's +2.
Okay, so partial. You get what you would like, but you don't know what it does. And finally, Giuseppe.
Whoops, sorry, did I stepping on sun?
What?
Sorry, can you still hear me? I might have been sitting on something.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. Just give me a second. I want to use hot. I want to roll plus hot. Let's see how that would work. If I'm retrieving items from this storage place.
Maybe you do some like Michael Jackson dancing shit.
Yeah, you
I
just
guess so,
look really
like,
sexy while doing it.
Kind of like it's like swooping like smoothly stay.
Yeah, you do some smooth
grab
criminal
would be
shit.
like grab would be probably like be the most efficient thing out of what's here, and then sort of go out, sort of set my position as like I guess the
You throw your hat and it loops around
Yeah.
it and it like boomerangs back to you with the thing.
can't throw my hat like that. I'm not that good.
Okay.
If I could, then
Giuseppe is.
I'd be using that move a lot more.
Wait, what hat?
You know,
Pretty sure he's got a hat somewhere.
Probably like a border hat.
somewhere.
Oh right. Are you wearing? That'd be like you're wearing the hat on top of your helmet.
Yeah.
That'd
You
be
know, that's
weird.
how stylish it is.
I just
He
really
takes
need to
my
show it
hat
off.
So
Yeah,
okay, so
bit.
that's
Go ahead and roll
let me
that.
roll for that.
God.
This is gonna be the worst one of it. Yep, it is.
Unfortunate.
We each get like one cream of the.
Okay.
We each get a sample of one thing.
Nice. I guess.
I'm gonna get
So-
like the golf club.
We'll go highest to lowest.
Okay.
The person who did, let's see. Wind got a partial success. Seth got a full success, and then Apom fucked up.
Of course.
So, Rusty,
Yippee.
there's 6 things in particular that grab your attention.
Nice.
There is what looks like kind of a weird syringe that has like some sort of vague mechanical thing on the side, as well as a tank filled with like some sort of liquid. It's small enough that it could just like fit in your hand pretty nicely, but larger than what you know syringes are supposed to be like. There is another thing that's like about as small as a pencil. It's got a translucent bulb at the end, as well as like a small button on it. Then there is like a small box that has you can't read, but it's got some images on it that seems to be like, it looks like a shield around a person's head, and they're like holding their fingers in their ears. You see a quadcopter.
What?
It's just a quadcopter.
Quadcopter.
You
And
see
finally,
like
2 blocks of cocaine.
you see a sort of like, it looks like it's a cross between a glove and a gauntlet, but you can tell that it's made out of some sort of metal. You're not particularly sure anything special about it, but it looks like sturdy and straight. And finally, there is like it looks kind of like a key, like a very old style key, like a metal key. But it's like it's shaped real fucking weird. Like it's got little lumps and offshoots coming off of it. If it's a key, you've never seen a key like this. Which one of these things would you like?
Fucking, what do you think? I'm going for that fucking quadcopter. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting.
You also got to grab its
Fucking
It's like-
manual?
it's notes that were nearby it.
Too bad you can't read.
Too bad I
And you
can't
get
read.
here you go. If you'd like to copy this into your own notes, go ahead.
Oh man, I do.
It's a quadcopter. It's
Okay.
controlled with radio control.
Happy
You've got a controller with
holidays.
it.
Question.
What's that?
Is it compact? Can
It's-
it be like a perfect like truck? Can it like go into like the form of a truck where you could commit war crimes?
It's not a transformer.
No, is it a Dahir and Shat quadcopter?
Unfortunately, it's not that big. It's bigger than most quadcopters you see. Like you're reading the notes and you realize like you're not reading the notes. You're having Lena or someone else read the notes. Nichols reading the notes.
Oh, thank you, Nicole.
It's got a little it's got a camera in it,
Ooh.
so you can see where it goes. It can't go like super far, but like it's durable enough that it like, if it gets like a rough landing, it won't break. It's kind of big that it can like hold up to maybe I'll say 10 pounds of cargo.
10 eggs, got it.
It's a quadcopter.
Alright, I've got a fucking egg holder. No, I'm still holding the egg though.
Apom, you get to choose what you want out of the rest of the
No,
five.
that's not what it is.
I'm sorry. Plug, you get to choose one out of these, but you don't get to know what it does.
Me?
Yep.
I assumed this is for the thing we talked about earlier was going to come into play. I guess not. What are the options again? Just a quick rundown.
There is a weird syringe that seems to have some mechanical shit on the side, as well as like a small tank of a strange liquid. There is a thing that's about as small as a pencil with a translucent bulb at the end, and a button on it. There's a small box that, since you can read, it says deep plugs. And it's got an image with a person holding their fingers to their ears with a like strange shield kind of emitting around their head. There's a weird glove that seems to be made out of metal. And then there is what looks like a kind of key or made like a metal wand with a lot of really strange lumps and offshoots.
That bulb thing is interesting, but also that glove. I'm gonna go for the glove.
Alrighty. You don't get any of the notes for it, but you smash your way in, you grab that glove. And finally, our good boy who fucked up.
As
I'll
usual.
do a roll 1d6. I've got these numbered. 4, that was the quadcopter. I'll roll again.
Oh, you could have got the copter.
That was
That's
the
the
glove.
glove.
Can I get both now? Can I get
No.
both?
You steal them from them?
If I hadn't gotten a bad roll, I would have taken the glove, honestly.
You got that weird thing that's about as small as a pencil.
Oh boy.
That
I get the...
like it's like a little wand with a translucent.
Boy, I'm not good with magic.
You've got the laser pointer. Congrats.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
It sounded like a
That's
laser
what it sounds
pointer.
like. It sounds like one of those laser pointers you use with your cats.
Whatever like difficulties y'all had, you all get out at about the same time, and they just can't hold the door open anymore, and it like they just let go and it slams shut right as soon as the last person gets out. Lena kind of looks at you expectantly.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess I'll use bulb. I like fingered around my hands. I don't know. I didn't want this. I don't know what it does.
You said you use it.
No, I sort of like fingered around with it in my hand.
He's doing
Okay.
he's doing the douchebag where you put it between your fingers and you kind of do the trick.
Wait, no, you didn't give him a fucking vape wand, did you?
No drugs.
I'm gonna cry.
Giuseppe does not allow drugs in here.
Combine vape wand with cocaine block.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
declaring war on anyone who sells drugs to the community. For Giuseppe, I
Anyway.
sell drugs to the community.
It's kind of ironic and a little bit sad that the person who rolled get like to know what it does got the thing that everyone knows how it does.
Yeah.
You people are in the dark.
Oh
Um,
boy.
What
I
do
want
you
to look at this
all?
glove.
Okay,
Just
it's
inspect it.
what's that?
Inspect it.
Yeah, the glove's kind of weird. It's like in its resting position, it's rigid. But like you can tell that you could slip your hand in pretty easily. Like it's in a position that like a normal hand would just be in. You think it's around your size. It's like not going to be too tight if you put your hand in.
Convenient.
Convenient, yeah. Do you do anything with it?
Is there any markings on it?
I'd say there's like a little tag on the inside, in like kind of an inscription or some sort, and it says L ampersand P Incorporated.
L and P. Uh-oh, what do I know? Try to decipher this in 5 minutes.
Plug Pumper Incorporated? Holy shit.
It's got your name on it. Your initials.
First thing that popped up was Lemmet was like a soft drink manufacturer in New Zealand. I think I've cracked the code, guys.
God.
So when Josie does a fucking corporation name, you look it up, but when I do, you don't. You just stay in the...
I did look that up. It took me a while to figure it out, though.
Are you fucking with your new quadcopter?
Fucking yeah.
Rusty
I'm, like,
all the
looking at-
battery
I'm-
life.
Everyone's kind of like just
the
like staring at you, like kind of like clumsily flying this big dumb thing.
Are you sure I'm
Smack.
flying it? Are you sure I know what how to hold the controller, or even that it's a controller?
I think that Lena gives you a bit of like pointers.
Oh, thank you so much, Lena.
I'm just
gonna
looking at
thank her.
this.
I'm gonna
I'm
thank her
actually just
every
like,
step.
well-
Every step. Thank you.
I won't blame you, but I don't think this will be particularly useful. But whatever, it's sick.
Alright. I'm looking
Uh,
at this. I'm looking
Hopefully
at
you
this.
live through this
sorry.
to experience the joy.
I'm just looking at this like magic wand bulb thing. Like I'm fiddling it around with my fingers and seeing if it does anything without pointing it at anyone.
It shoots
Would you say that
backwards.
you like press that little button on there?
Only when it's not pointing at anyone. Only when neither end is pointing at anyone.
Okay. You point it down the hall, and you kind of click that little button, and nothing comes out of it. Like the bulb lights up a bit, but you don't see anything come out of it. But there is a noticeable effect as the light bulbs in its path all like shatter.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, I just look around. She was like, sorry, Lena. I did not know that did that. I got money to pay for your light bulb, whatever those things are.
I don't. It's fine.
Mm.
Just all right. I don't know what that is. Do you have any idea?
Nope. It causes those things to explode. I was going to grab something cooler, but this just is what I ended up with.
Maybe it does something to electricity. Well, regardless, Lug, you were still messing with that glove, right?
Yeah, I'll slip off one of. Is it a lefty or a righty?
It's a lefty.
Non-dominant. Slip off the left glove and put that glove on again, facing away from everyone.
You've got hands?
What is it? Yeah. Yeah, just don't want to point my hands at anyone.
You slip on the glove, and its rigidity immediately ends. Like it immediately feels just like a nice glove. It doesn't feel metal like you think it should be. Like it's shiny like metal, but it doesn't feel like it.
Weird.
It flexes nicely. It's got some heft to it, but not so much that like you can't move your hand very easily. If you want to figure it out right now, I'd say maybe roll a sharp. Oh well, shit. All right. You kind of you flex. I think your last two fingers, your pinky and ring finger, in a certain way. Just completely on a whim. Like maybe this is like a Spider-Man kind of thing. Go web go. But instead, that rigidity immediately comes back, and you can feel that like this thing does not fucking move. Like when you did that, like it locks.
Huh.
Broke it.
And you try to do that little flex again, and then it like undoes it, and now you can oh geez, my hand was starting to get a little cramped. But you've realized that this thing can just kind of like make a super hard lock whenever the fuck you want.
Does the density of it change when it does that?
Nope.
Hmm.
Whatever position that you were in when you did that flex, it just kind of like stays in that position.
Interesting.
I will tell you all the names real quick. The quadcopter is named Quadcopter. The strange wand with the translucent end is called the Rude Lance.
Oh.
And the glove is called the Deadlock Glove. If you wanted to like have names to write down, other than like Weird Tech Glove.
Vape wand.
I will real quick post the tags that I've got for them.
So it's Rude Wand?
Yep, Rude Lance.
Rude Lance, okay. Rude Buster, I gotcha.
There you go.
Alright, I'll write down the tags for it as well.
Close, high tech. Boy, I get to shock people now. I never thought I'd have lightning powers.
God, Giuseppe, I didn't know you were a wizard.
I didn't either. I did not expect to spec in wizards.
You've turned this into D&D now, Jesse. Was that your plan? You really wanted D&D?
I mean, you gotta have cool shit.
Oh man. Man, I've been given so much good things. Thank you so much, Josie. Now, I've got to eat a burger.
My inventory space is full, so I just have to put it to the side now. All my items.
I've eaten a burger. I found out the egg can eat. I've got this cool quadcopter. Oh man, you're being so good to Rusty right now.
Anyway.
Question.
Uh-huh.
This is a good question. So you did say that the hand was starting to cramp a little bit.
Your hand itself was feeling a little stiff when you got out of it, but it's not
Did it hurt?
It's not too bad. No, it did not hurt. You were comfortably in there, you just couldn't move your hand.
Interesting.
It's as though somebody had it's like you went from being able to completely move your hand to somebody just kind of grabbing your hand. You know, in a very not vice grip, but firm enough that you couldn't move. You get me?
Yeah. And is it a hard exterior?
Yeah, it's a hard exterior no matter what. You kind of you tap on the outside, and even when it's in its inert mode, you can tell that it is metal.
Okay.
It does not dent. It doesn't really scratch easily. It looks a little bit like it's a lot of little sections, but it's not like a sheer surface. It's You're pretty sure it's made out of a bunch of little things, but like you're not sure how they do.
Strange.
But after the your newfound tech, Leonard beckons you on down to a much closer hall than you had expected to. A lot of the stuff is like very close together. It's not like you're not walking for very long. But you get to a particular room that seems a lot different. It's not so much a room; it's like a part of the hall, but you can see into a room. There is a large locked door that she does not make any attempts to get into. But what is important is a very thick wall-spanning window. And inside the room, you see figures, a crowd. They're children.
Don't like that.
Oh, okay.
I feel uncomfortable.
Lena puts her hand up against the glass and looks into the room, kind of wistfully. There's a bunch of very similar-looking kids who are all kind of like sitting cross-legged, staring at a bunch of screens on the one end of the room. The screens display like cycling to like educational images, small maths, then switching over to some sort of like, reading, vocabulary. Lena stares, you stare, and then you stare at Lena, and the resemblance is pretty striking. We're fighting for this too. We have a lot to lose if we fail.
Yeah, that ain't right. What the? I don't know what's going on right there. What? What?
They're fine.
I think I may have an idea of what. No, maybe I don't.
Let's see. Lena looks at you all and says, we're nearly there. Be ready.
Give it my all.
Your followers adjust their weapons once again.
I'm feeling
You
bad.
step through a pretty large door into an even larger room. It has high walls, a very high ceiling, and a small stage. It's almost completely empty except for a group of foldable chairs that are arranged in a bit of a row, several rows actually. The floor is a kind of shiny brown. It looks kind of like wood, but you can tell it's kind of not. The only other thing in the room is a person sitting on a large metal chair. This person is easily twice as large as anybody you've ever seen, but you can't really see much of them. The only thing that you see is their head, because the rest of their body is kind of hidden behind a very large regal cloak of like a deep red.
Damn, I hate him already.
Lena walks up and says, Lena? And the person responds, Lena?
What?
I see you have not given up your little excursion. I would not give this up for the world. I'm seeing this through, and I'm going to beat you. Ironic to have someone as low as a secretary speak like that to her queen. You are nothing to me now. You are a stepping stone to a society that I can call my own. If you wanted to rule that badly, you could have just assassinated me. I don't want to rule. I just want you gone and the people safe. The people were safe already. I kept them safe. You kept them safe by keeping them in want. You let the sick and starving die. You let those who need even more. If you are a queen, then you are a despo. And Lena just kind of looks off to the side. You are mercenaries, I assume? the ones I've heard so much about.
Rusty shrugs.
We're not mercenaries, but we try our hardest.
If you are who I think you are, then this will be enough for you. What is she promising you? Money, fame, fortune? I can give you anything she promises and more. I could give you triple whatever her asking price is, or whatever your asking price is. How does that sound?
Doubtful.
She kind of like bristles a bit at you, kind of interrupting her little speech. I am giving you an ultimatum, mercenaries. Take what I offer
Oh.
and kill this little rebel,
No. No.
or you'll die like her.
Okay. No. Not that neither.
Nope. Nope. Nah.
Rusty don't like this, not one bit. Rusty don't like this. He's not, he's not for it.
Giuseppe, what do you say? I can let you live here forever. You will never have to see the open waters again. You will not need for anything ever again, so long as you kill the things that threaten God's rightly ruler, myself.
Allying with you won't stop him. It won't stop him from going other places, hurting more people, not just me. He will keep going until I find him. I aim to go back, find him, and to stop him. I think that will give me some purpose. And there's more for me to find out there too. And above all, I need to stay with my crew. And I think they will stand by me too.
You would refuse a queen? Refuse me? Why? Why the hell would you refuse my offer? I offered you anything you'd like, anything. Fame and fortune and safety, and you say no? For these people? These usurpers? Why? This is y'all's key.
Okay.
But, I doubt you could actually get us what we want anyway. Doubtful. You
I've been
can't
through a
get
lot.
happiness, bud.
I've been through a lot in the past month or so. And whatever there is, I know there's something out there undiscovered that I need to find. A map of something interesting. And I don't aim to sit around here and find that. Even if it pains me, even if I've lost quite a lot already, I still aim to go back and get after it. After all, what is it if what would I prove to myself if I established a business, established a caravan, and just left it here? What would that mean? I don't aim to stay here. I aim to go back out, and I aim to help these people who would let me go back out.
And you sorry little man with a mask? Why would a peasant like you refuse me? You see she's shaking fucking anger.
I don't need the help of some freak to keep my friends, my family safe.
She stands up out of her throne. Then so be it. You will all die, like I will kill every last bastard on that mountain left. I will wipe the slate clean, and I will make a new queendom. and I won't need any of you. I won't need any of you. And she leaps off of that and smashes down at the ground, leaving like rents in the ground. And she pulls out. It looks kind of like a sort of spear, and she brandishes at you. I'll start this little rebel right here. What do you do?
Pull out mega shotgun.
Oh yeah, you
no,
have
we need to
like
save
one
that.
bullet, don't you?
We need to save that.
No, we don't.
No, you don't.
Oh, I guess we.
Wynn gets to use it whenever he
Okay.
wants.
Would you like to use that as part of a move, or just like fucking?
I actually don't know what I should do. Let me
I
look
kinda
at it.
wanna-
Holy
I think
shit,
like
have-
you could just do it. Like it's difficult to use this in a move. I think
Yeah.
it's just a thing that
Uh,
hurts.
Is she airborne right now?
No, she's slammed down.
Does she have a mask on?
She looks quite identical to your own Lena.
Well, at least we can tell the difference because one's very large. Large Lena versus normal size Lena versus baby Lena.
You know, it's like one of those
Hmm.
things where like a cell like grows, where a single-celled organism like grows like a little bud off of it.
Fuck, this is the level 100 boss!
God.
Okay, I need to. You take it slowly.
I can have Wynn's thing happen first, though.
Okay.
You're just
What
gonna use this
is... What would I use for... throwing something? Like, what would I roll for that again?
it depends on what you're trying to do.
I have that bottle of soup. It's probably
Okay.
kind of chunky by now. It's probably sticky. It would probably hurt to get in someone's eyes, especially if, along with glass. I
Okay.
want to blind her by throwing this bottle directly at her face. Hopefully giving everyone else enough time to basically overwhelm her.
Would you consider that doing something under fire, or would you consider that what was it? Or like lay down fire?
I think lay down fire. Let me get to that in the calls it.
Page
So lay down
29.
fire
Roll
allows
hard,
you to,
okay.
but doing something under fire would also work, because it's just like you're trying to do a thing that does not involve specifically like hurting someone.
I think lay down fire.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll that.
+2, 7.
Okay.
What,
I get 2 options. So, suppressing fire, denying them to move or act freely, and for supporting fire, giving +1 choice to anyone's battle move.
Okay. You like pull this bottle out from your little pack and toss it as pretty much like the first thing anyone else does. And you watch it soar quite nicely at her, but it stops short. You can see kind of like a strange shimmering in a circle around her like whole person as the like bottle smashes against something and spreads out, covering some sort of strange like just like thing around her. You can tell that it's kind of difficult to see through it, but it doesn't particularly do anything to her. I think she will respond in kind. Oh no, that's a tactical move. She doesn't respond to that. Okay, who would like to do this?
May I suggest
I
to...
kind of.
Oh,
Wait, who? Let me see.
Well,
something.
you heard me 2 options, right?
Don't worry, they'll come into play.
I kind of wanna read the sitch because I feel like we need to stop something here.
Okay.
Thinking, wait, do you have higher show up than me, Seth?
It doesn't matter. If you're gonna do it, then do it.
Sorry. I want to form like a stance like with my people so that I'm like safe, and then I want to look around the room to see like whatever vulnerabilities there are. I guess I don't know if this would be better as read a stitch or read a person.
Read a person is like if you're talking to someone.
Yeah, that would.
Read a
Okay,
stitch
read
is
a
like-
stitch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll sharp.
Let's see. Okay, that's good.
All right. You get 1. Ask one of these things.
Let me see.
It is
Okay.
where's the best escape route, way in or way past? Who's most vulnerable to me? Who's the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's their true position? And who's in control here?
Most of these are pretty obvious, I'd say. I guess maybe way in? But if way in would count as through this magical armor?
The soup that's kind of like covered them has kind of like showed you something. It's like kind of diluted at this point, but you realize that some of it just is not sticking to certain areas, and you see that one of the areas is pretty much like anything lower than somebody's shins. Like, simply put, like it does not go all around them. It stops after like a certain low point. But it is difficult to get into there. That was your thing.
Okay.
Rusty, what'd you like to
Well, do I notice this as well, or is that just for Giuseppe only?
I think Giuseppe probably does like a little like,
Lets us know.
eye twitch thing.
Kick him in the shins.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my iridescent knife specifically. I'm gonna go over there and try to slash at their ankles and get out of there.
Okay.
You're gonna do like
so
one
you
of
call
those
that
slides.
Yeah, fucking slide with the egg. Slide with baby.
okay. Let's see. What kind of move would you say that'd be?
Let me see.
We could just call that single combat, but that's not like amazing. It is pretty single combat though.
Assault a secure position.
That could work.
Yeah, that sounds... Yeah?
You get really in there.
Yeah, just keep...
Like you force your way into your enemy's position.
And then
Okay, that
leave,
would work.
yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, roll plus hard then.
Yep.
I'm not gonna... +1. Yippee!
Very good.
Yippee!
We'll consider this the one that you get +1 choice on, so you get all those.
I get everything! Yippee!
Oh boy.
Let's see. Your knife does 2, right? And then you have the bloodlust.
Yeah, yep, 2 harm. And messy.
Golly. Alright, let me look at my... Okay, you take a running slide at this woman, blinded as she is by whatever bullshit's still in her eyes. And you kind of just slide between her legs real good, and you get like one of your knives, and you stab harder than you've stabbed anything in your life, and you feel metal, and like you think that you've like hit some sort of like just like very good armor, until you feel a little bit of give, and you can feel some flesh in there, and you see blood. But in doing so, you catch your knife into that cloak that they're wearing, and it kind of like wrenches off while you do your slide into going behind them, and it reveals that she's in a very large, what looks like some sort of like very large exoskeletal power suit, The stab you got in only really got, like, it's a little bit flesh deep. It's not very good. Like, there's a lot of blood, but you didn't do structural damage.
Alright.
And you realize, oh, that's why she's so fucking huge. She's literally in a machine. And she gets pretty fucking pissed off.
Of course, yeah.
She, like, kind of, like, turns her, like, over her shoulder to you and is like, you'll get the honor of seeing all your friends die first. And she looks back and she pulls something from her hip. And it looks like a very large... It's hard to call it a gun. It's easier to call it a cannon.
Oh.
boy.
And one of those huge metal fingers depresses on the trigger,
Oh no.
and just shrapnel blasts forth. Everybody who is not rest takes 3 harm.
So that's 2
Yikes.
for me. Oh my god, this is not good.
Remember that you have armor.
I wish I got more armor.
So it's just a punk got hit.
It is absolutely everybody who is not resting. So you got this too.
It's alright.
Oh, sorry, fellas.
Yeah. You feel... Actually, let's... what do you feel, Giuseppe?
I guess some of it like hits my like armor chest plate, and some of it like hits like the rest of my midsection.
Okay,
like-
does it feel sharp? Does it feel rending?
I guess it feels sharp and rending, but I'm trying to push it off. I push myself up, but again, I like have like the support of my group to like keep me standing for this, so I don't get knocked back by it. I know they all got hit too, but like we're standing as a group.
Right. You're still you're within your gang. You're a present and a strong leader, and they're with you. What do you do?
Hopefully, I think it's gang time. Let me check my gang tactics.
Yeah, the way that gangs work is a little interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried gang before. I did some gang yesterday. I just need to refresh. I mean, not yesterday, last session. Where is it? Okay, using a gang as a weapon. I don't want to harm my gang too much, but
Yeah, you would realize that the horrible cannon that she used probably can't be reloaded quickly.
Hmm.
So if she was going to retaliate, it would not be now.
okay. So let me take. It's probably seized by force before. I wanna like get that cannon away from her. I think, which may be kind of hard.
Yeah, you also notice that she's kind of... It looks like she's slightly crouched. So the thing that that Rusty did, you're not sure if you could pull that off again.
So her foot armor is like near her shins. I can't get near her shins. But there are other holes, other places in her barrier.
I think that was the only major one.
Are people able to go through the barrier area?
You don't know?
Maybe bum rush. I think bum rush may be a tactic. You
You're
know
bum
what?
rushing,
You know
I
what? I
wanna
think it's
assist
you
him.
know what? I got 4 people. I think it's bum rush time.
I want to assist him on this.
You've got 5 whole
Okay.
people here.
Okay, seize by 4. Well, 4 people. I want to seize by force, and I want to do that by like getting everyone together and just like bum rushing at the shield, and hopefully at least knocking her back, even if we can't actually get through it.
All right.
Just like I command a charge, I guess. See, this would be seized. Would this be seize something by force?
Uh,
Maybe one of the variations.
Let me think. Hmm.
I really want to use Subterfuge sometime soon. I haven't gotten a chance to.
Yeah, I suppose Seized by Force isn't the worst thing.
You see, yeah.
We could just consider it exchanging harm.
Okay. Operation Charge!
Okay, your folks as one move
Wait,
that.
but do I need to roll? Do I roll for that, right?
Exchanging harm itself.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
just
did
do.
not?
There should be more moves, aren't there? I was sure there were more. Well, whatever.
Do I roll plus hard?
Go for it.
Ah!
I wanted to support him in it though.
Oh boy, everyone's gonna die.
But,
because of me.
that.
You know what? I'd say that you could support them with. Okay, here's how it's going. You don't think that things are going to get through that like shield. This is just like a response. Like you're just trying to get anything to go through. Lug, if you shot that super shotgun, you're sure that'd get through.
Oh no.
So your assistance would be to like use your strongest thing against that shield.
Okay. Could I do that before they bum rush?
Yeah.
And do I need to roll for this?
I'd consider nah. This is
Alright.
you rolled the help.
The help.
Yeah.
That's just flat 2d6.
Plus HX.
Plus
Plus 1.
1. All right.
That's still failing. God.
We'll consider this. Okay. So, you fire this horrible fucking gun and fill the room with smoke. You hear a shattering and a clattering, and then, like, your group, Giuseppe, like, moves as one into the smoke. But you realize that they kind of get... by the time you reach Lena, you realize that there's nobody beside you. People have seemed to have run off on their own. Not everyone's around you. This smoke is really hard to fight in. And it doesn't go so great. You do get one choice, though. Even on this.
One choice?
Yep.
For like the...
Seized by Force.
Seized by Force?
Yep.
If I say little harm, that means my entire game takes little, right?
Yep.
I say we suffer little harm. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Okay, that's fair. Let's see. You're using a small gang, and then that, what are you using to fight with?
I mean,
You're
I
using
assume...
the gang, right? The gang
Yeah.
is 2 harm, small, so that's 3 harm, and you're suffering no harm. Okay, you're in there, and you're fighting, but you don't think anything's really getting through. Like, your attacks just continually bounce off. You don't see that shimmering as you did before, and you realize that whatever strange machine was doing that probably just broke. But you're not really getting through any of the exoskeleton. And she smirks. I made a promise that I'd kill you people first, but let's make this fun. And instead of the spear, she grabs from another little sheath on her person a strange knife.
Oh boy.
It buzzes with a weird energy, and she brings it down in a wide arc, which definitely gets you. You don't take any harm, but I'm gonna need you to roll straight 2d6.
Oh no. Dice don't fail me now. Dice don't fail me
Sidekick
now.
bot, please.
Yes!
Thank you, sidekick bot. Oh,
Alright.
Sidekick bot.
You feel spasmic. You feel like your body itself is rebelling against you, and you feel almost like you're gonna just fall down. but you lock your legs in a standing position and you keep your arms from falling to your side. And whatever the hell this was doing, you don't let it. Rusty, what do you do? You're behind Lena.
Yeah. So this shield is gone. Yeah, we've noticed it's gone.
Yep.
I want to yet again seize this suit she's got on by force. I want to get up there and just hammer at the neck if possible, or do something to, I don't know, open this thing up. It's obvious.
Did you want to include your gang in this?
Yeah. They can come along and
Okay.
help out.
Seth does that one football thing, the ladder.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Seize by force, and you're trying to seize like just her ability to move in
Yeah.
that suit.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, sorry for bumping my mic. That was stupid.
and then that is plus hard, so +1. Yippee.
Pretty good.
Yippee. So I get.
Let's see. So seizing by force. You get 2 choices.
I want to take definite and undeniable control of this suit. And, it's just a suit, little harm to myself
Suffer.
and
Okay.
friends.
All right. So, you kind of like lock eyes with Nick Lindsay, and they like nod at you, and your whole, what's left of your gang, kind of like charges at Lena as well as Lena. Lena shows up for the charge. And you hop on the back while they like kind of like all start smashing at the front with whatever weapons they have on hand. Afraid to actually shoot, considering you're very close to her. And Lena like kind of just like she swings like that big weird ornate spear at them, keeping several of them back. But there's simply too many people to like keep from getting in. You get on her back and you start like sticking your knife wherever it can get, and like you're very sure that like she's not going to be able to move for a sec, but you still don't get any blood drawn.
Can I by chance notice any kind of way to get into this suit? Because she's got to get into it somehow, and she's got to get out of it somehow.
I have an idea, but I don't know
think,
if I'm able to deploy it.
Let's see, I think that was everyone that turn. Or no, Wind, you have to do something.
Okay, so
I thought Wind assisted me, and that count as done.
Oh, yeah, I think it did, huh?
damn it.
That's all right.
Sorry, I shouldn't have pointed that out. I'm assisting the enemy, sorry.
Lena is like swinging wildly. You've locked up some of her armor, but like she's still managing to like rash around. You realize that you're gonna have to either like completely commit to stopping her from moving, or you're going to, or you'll have to let her move in order to find any sort of weakness.
I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna let the others have like a chance to do stuff.
I have an
so
idea,
you're
but I'm
committing
not.
to not letting her move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an idea.
I do too.
Oh, you guys
Go
have
ahead.
to discuss.
You want to go first? I feel
the-
like you need to. I feel like you deserve it
Yeah.
because mine may be a fluke.
I want Lug to fucking charge her. He's not holding anything, but he puts out his left hand with that glove, and he's getting ready to seize that spear by force
Okay.
and attempt to disarm her. That's +2, so a 9.
Okay.
I take definite and undeniable control of it.
All right.
And real quick question: what would dismaying entail?
Probably just freaking them out, keeping their attention on.
This thing.
Okay. You hold out your arm, and just kind of like sprint over at her, and she's like kind of too occupied with some fuckers on, like trying to smash her face in and like got on her back. And she doesn't notice when you come over, but in her thrashing, you don't grab her spear specifically. You grab the arm of her exoskeleton. And you chose Control and Dismay.
Yes. I take undeniable control of it in dismay.
Yeah, you've that like the deadlock glove like clamps down, and like you didn't realize it, but it kind of exerts some extra force, and it starts to kind of like crush the exoskeleton a little bit. Not doing
This
any
is her
damage.
arm, right?
Yeah, not doing any damage to her, but like her whatever like servos were working the hand and arm won't let her swing this anymore. Unfortunately, in order to keep this going, you are connected to her.
I still have a free hand.
You do. Let's see. Giuseppe, you had an idea, didn't you?
Okay. This is either gonna work or it's gonna fail and I'm gonna look stupid. I have the Rude Lance, and all I know is that it can shut down light bulbs. But I think if I try, it may be able to shut down technology, just because it seems to be like anti-electricity. I assume this runs on like some sort of like maybe not battery, but like I assume it uses some sort of charge. So maybe I'm thinking if I'm right near her right now since she just tried to stab me. I'd like to pull out my Rude Lance, probably say some stupid line, some cheesy line, and then like flick it right near her and see what happens.
Okay. You point this little.
Would this be a move? Would this be an attack or not?
No, you're just using the tech.
Okay.
You point this little dinky thing at her, and you say generic action line.
Say cheese.
Plus 10 aggro.
And then you press the little button, and at first nothing really happens until you realize that not only is like her arm locked up, the entire like armor seems to lock up.
Nice.
Like it's not so much that she doesn't move; it's more like the like suit itself is spasming. It's not breaking or anything, but it's like she's kind of locked in her own skin.
How does it feel?
I'm gonna kill all of you. You stupid little bastards. I'm gonna kill all of you. Let's see. Who else was... No, that was the whole thing. Okay, she
We
can't
did-
do anything, but you realize that, like, the spasming seems to be dying down. What do y'all do?
I want to take this opportunity, seeing as I don't have to hold her down currently. I want to continue seeing if there's a way in and out of this suit.
Okay. I'll consider that acting under fire.
Acting under fire. Oh, yippee.
So, roll cool.
Roll cool.
People can help with
please.
this, of course.
Yeah, I'm not
okay,
doing
it's
it.
fine. Criminal 9, you flinch,
never
hesitate,
mind,
or
it's fine.
stall. But you guys can help, I guess, but it
You want
won't
me
do
to?
anything. It
I
wouldn't-
can't. Can I hinder accidentally? If I get a bad roll?
Anyway, let me think. So, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find a weakness in this.
Yeah, I want to see if you can open it up, or how to open it up, specifically. Because she can't just live in it.
Let's see. You see on the back, there looks like it's kind of a weird panel. You're quite sure that it's like it's not going to come open easily. You don't have anything really with you that can like open that very easily. You're gonna have to pull, and like the way it's like kind of shaped and angled, like obviously isn't meant for a person to yank that off. If you wanted to pull that off, you're gonna have to cut up your hands really bad.
I think I'm willing.
Oh boy.
Willing.
All right. You kind of like you dig down, and you like latch onto that panel, and you like yank and yank and yank until it starts to give, and still your hands start to give as like it cuts deeper and deeper into your hands, leaving like a bloody red trail. But finally, you like just yank it off, and in that motion, also kind of yank yourself off of her back. You've exposed some very vulnerable machinery, but you've also exposed a very deep gash in both of your hands. You take 2 harm.
Alright, so 1 harm with the... Thank you, God. Oh,
Armor penetrating.
armor penetrating, God. Thank you, God, anyway.
I think maybe my time.
Praise.
Yeah, praise.
Okay, so I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So her head is just completely exposed, right?
Yeah.
And as far as you're aware, there's nothing protecting it? Like, no shield, no nothing?
You don't know?
Knee her in the
You do
face.
have a pretty nice thing in a very exposed bullshit.
Knee her in the face to make sure.
but am I not? I don't think I'd be close enough to that to get into it, right?
You might be able to, maneuver.
But I
I'd say
still
that
gotta
like you
hold on
can.
to her.
What's that?
I still gotta hold on to her.
That's true.
Not wanting to let go of this sphere, is seeing how detrimental that would be to the safety of most people. Lug decides to experiment a little bit. He just shoves his free hand into the back of his pack and pulls out the first fucking bottle he can find from his stash. And he, what he attempts to do as a combo, tries to smash it over her head and jab her in the eyes, or at least one.
God. I'll consider that.
Strange charm?
No, I'll consider that single combat.
Yeah, single combat.
So roll hard.
+2.
Oof.
Plus
Okay,
2.
you get a choice.
Terrible harm.
That's fair. You grab this bottle out of your pack. How it's not already broken is a wonder only you can answer. And on kind of the upswing of her spasming arm, you take your swing and smash her like kind of across the cheek. The glass like shattering against her cheekbone, cutting her up bad. And then you thrust with that, and like you kind of catch some of her flesh with that. She'll take 2 harm from all this bullshit. But at this point, she stops like most of her spasming, and she can't move her spear arm, but she can move her other arm, and so she wraps that around your torso. And she starts
It's the first time Luke has ever experienced anything close to a hug.
And she starts squeezing.
Boy.
She'll do, let's see.
There's a lot of squeezing in this.
She'll take 1 damage armor penetrating as she starts to squeeze the life out of you.
I think it's my time.
How do you feel having the life squeezed out of you?
There was a lot of adrenaline at first, but I can kind of feel that adrenaline being like forced out of me through these fucking metal beef claws of this fucking hag. So I mean, it could feel better. It doesn't feel too good. I can kind of feel this metal plate around my chest kind of squeezing and pinching in a way that it shouldn't.
Ouch. So now that she's like freely able to move, let me think. She will like start to like shake the people who are like trying to fuck with her off, and with a like just incredibly petulant scowl, uses her exoskeleton to like leap back onto that stage. And
I
you
get
see her
taken with her, right?
What? Oh, yeah, you're on her still, so yeah, she's still squeezing.
I'm in no position.
But she lets
Oh, sorry.
she lets you go at the moment, as she reaches for that horrible cannon, and she starts to reload that with one hand.
I'm
And
in no
she's like
position.
staring at you, real rudely while she does.
Alright, I have a question.
What's that?
Oh, actually, no, that didn't. If the glass didn't fucking blind her, I doubt spitting in her face would. Never mind.
What do y'all do?
I'm in no position behind her, am I?
No, she put y'all into her front.
Oh boy, so I can't get her aim thing.
She's preparing to do some really
I
mean
think it
shit.
may be time to do some. Let me check something.
At this point, I feel like I've been going too much, but I feel like
I
could
kind of
do
want to
something.
try something.
Then go
let's see.
first.
Can I? Okay.
I'm actually interested in what Lug wants to do first, actually.
Oh, sorry.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
you
think
go
Lug
first.
has the best chance of, I don't know, exposing her vulnerabilities.
Well, I do have like this single-hand pistol, and I'm right next to her head. And I was thinking of just like grabbing that and just pulling the trigger at fucking point blank.
Okay. Let me think. Are you doing this with the intent to kill, or the intent to like, I guess, open up possibilities?
Hinder.
Okay.
Just hinder in any way, shape, or form.
Make her deaf.
We can consider this seized by force or acting under fire, whichever you'd like.
Seized by force.
All right. Go ahead and roll that.
+2 for hard.
Okay. We'll consider that like assaulting a secure position, and her secure position is like her being able to protect herself. But yeah. What are your choices?
Hang on, being able to what?
Protect herself.
So that's an 8, right? I get 2.
Yep.
Inflict terrible harm and fright. And the pistol was the 2 damage, loud, close range.
Yeah, none of that gets through, but because she brings like her, she kind of like keeps like tossing you around a little bit. She can still move her arm, she just can't move her hand. So you're trying to like get like a shot off at her head, but she's like moving her shoulder in the way. She's throwing you like every which way. Your arm's getting wrenched real fucking bad. At this point, it's really difficult to tell if you can even do the finger flex to get yourself off of her. So you're kind of in this as much as she is. But this does accomplish a particular thing in that she starts freaking out a bit. And she turns around.
Ready.
Just happy, what do you do?
As soon as I see her turn around, I pull out knife gun, get up close, and I want to like blast a shot right into the machinery that's exposed.
Would you say that your gang would be helping you with this?
Yeah, if they all have pistols, I like shoot first and then they'd follow with a flurry, since their guns fire faster than mine.
Okay. Everybody, you kind of like order everybody into like a firing position with Lena at the head, and you kind of run forward and take a nice shot. Go ahead and roll. What would you like to?
Would that be would that be hard, or
It'd probably be some form of seize by force.
maybe
You're trying to
would it be
seize, like,
should it be cool or hard?
Would you? Would you consider this like acting under fire?
Maybe just because it's like very sudden.
I get you.
Make some variants. Oh boy, this may not go well though. I don't have any. Wait a minute, if I'm. Oh, sorry. I need to. I think I will. Actually, I think I will. If I'm doing this under fire, actually, I just roll plus hard instead, so I still get plus.
Okay.
I almost hurt myself there. Pass, just barely passing. You okay?
What's that?
You okay?
I'm fine. I'm saying let me
Yes,
think. I think if you want this to go how you want, you're gonna have to get closer than you'd like to be, and you might get like hurt by either like your own folks firing from shrapnel of whatever you're shooting at, you know, possibly like electricity and shit like that. Are you prepared for that?
I can take it. I need a bit more damage on me.
Okay. You wave everybody into a firing position and run up over to the other Lena's back. And you take pretty much a point-blank shot right into the strange machinery and signal for yours to do the same. And kind of all at once, hell breaks loose as like pieces of metal like ping off of exoskeleton and sparks fly. You take one armor penetrating from just everything.
Alright.
But at the end of it, when the smoke dies down, the armor isn't moving, and in fact seems to open up in sort of like an emergency mechanism. And the other Lena just kind of plops out right in the middle of everybody. Your Lena calls a halt, and she walks up. The other Lena is just laying there, face bloody, leg cut, breathing hard. You make fast friends with powerful people, don't you? You will not even be half of the ruler I was. You are no queen. I don't plan to be a queen. And then she points her gun at her and shoots her in the head. Thank you. So you're not mercenaries after all, are you?
No. Oh, so I'm okay. I get up, like start like dusting all the crap that's hit me. Yeah, we're not. That was a bit of we had a run-in with more capitalists, as you'd call them, earlier. We had to save some friends from them, and that's where we got all our weapons from. And we got something that led us here. Honestly, I feel like it was a blessing.
Let history judge me for the monster that I am, bringing civilians into this conflict. Is that true of you two as well? And your people?
Yeah.
We've suffered a lot. We've lost a few people. I've lost my good eye, of course. And I think everyone's been a little shocked. But ultimately, I think we've done a good cause. We've helped you. I think it's given us a bit of a goal.
What's done is done. Let history be the judge. I don't think any signal's going to get down here, so... But this isn't the end, because you see somebody walk out of, from behind some of the curtains on that stage.
Oh no.
They're a very gaunt figure.
Hang on.
You hear them say, you hear clapping. And then you hear kind of quiet sobbing as a man who looks like he's just kind of constantly crying walks into a commanding position next to the throne.
Can I say something? So, where's the mech suit in relation to all of this?
It is, I'll say it kind of like toppled over the side of the stage. You're all kind of like crowding a little bit around the stage.
I'm still connected to the suit.
You can unconnect it yourself if you'd like.
He's stuck.
Alright, unconnect.
Help
Okay,
him
just
like a
pull him out
cat.
we just pull him out while he's stuck
Uh,
on the suit.
The man speaks up. Well, you did a great job. Better than I could have expected anyone else. How do you respond?